Well, here I am, God's #1 grass toucher. Let's see what happens. All right, grass, can you tell me why the internet's mad at Kirsche? Nah, it's just grass. I don't know why everybody's mad at Kirsche. Everywhere I go all over the internet, I'm finding stuff like this. It's absolutely ridiculous that this witch hunt has been brought on by this person right here. I guess it's time we find out the history of Kirsche and find out why Ana Valens has a problem. Kirsche is an American virtual YouTuber who began her career on Twitch back in 2018. Unlike many VTubers who stick to gaming or lighthearted content, Kirsche blends humor, MMOs, and unfiltered takes on politics or current events from a conservative perspective. Her YouTube channel, created in 2023, hosts clips and highlights showcasing her quirky personality, and she's built a dedicated fan base drawn to her curiosity and willingness to tackle tough topics. Kirsche's rise wasn't typical of a VTuber. She began her career as a static PNG tuber and now has a full 3D model. Continuing with being an outsider in VTuber culture, Kirsche did not get a big break, but rather built up to a gamer sub sponsorship and U2s as well. But these two would pale in comparison to an official collaboration between Kirsche and crime boss Rockay, a game that would change her career forever. But here's where it gets messy. In May of 2025, Kirsche faced a wave of cancellation attempts. It began with going after her gamer sub sponsorship, and then moved on to her YouTube sponsorship, and finally, it culminated in in-game studios dropping her as a crime boss Rockay City sponsored streamer. That's right, after all the work she did for them, after all of the intrigue that she paid the game, this is what they did to her. Here's a clip of how things went down.
In the year of our Lord 2025, an anime-themed tea company told me to kill myself!
This isn't about whether you agree with her or not. It's about whether she has the right to say it. In the USA, even speech that some people feel is extreme is protected under the First Amendment, so long as it doesn't incite violence, which her comments had nothing to do with. That's a cornerstone of our freedom here in the United States of America, and it's under attack when voices like Kirsche are silenced because mob rule has decided that it's fallen out with their preferences. X.com captures the plethora of comments surrounding this incident. In an attempt to call out hypocrisy, one user, @DomainDead, said, "I hate cancel culture when it happens to me, now go do it to this game developer," once again trying to get the dunk on Kirsche. Another user, Che Martinez 93, said, "Cancel culture is the least of your struggles." On the other side, supporters rally for her right to free speech. Asmongold, Grums, Side-Scrollers, Yellow Flash, and many more have come out to show their allegiance for free speech as well as Kirsche's right to express herself, even if it makes certain journalists at Vice very uncomfortable. Kirsche agreed with Asmongold's sentiment about cancel culture, saying, quote, "Asmon is 100% right about how to handle companies that bend the knee to cancel culture. You have a voice, use it." And boy howdy did they. In-Game Studios is now suddenly complaining that they're being cancelled by Kirsche's supporters after an overwhelming wave of negative reviews showed up shortly after they dropped Kirsche. However, these are all belonging to verified downloaded account holders, meaning they own the game and they can render an opinion about it. This graph shows how far crime boss Rockay City has fallen since disconnecting with Kirsche. What is striking, though, is the amount of support Kirsche has received not just from right-of-center YouTubers, but from across the entire internet. A great deal of people may not have heard of her before, but now certainly have picked up on this story, seeing as how Vice continues to spread it around. Speaking of which, we should find out more about the person that started this cancel mob.
And so, This originally started as just your classic breeding facility, but it was expanded over time through a Kickstarter, actually. If you are a trans girl or if you are trans feminine, you can go ahead and sign up for a reservation slot to an all-day access to one of many breeding facilities where you get to breed the shit out of that cis girl.
P-word.
Can absolutely devastate that shit, fucking destroy it, murder it. It's done. Like, they have to cycle the girls out because that
P-word
is absolutely out of commission.
This individual has severe reality comprehension issues, as you can tell. They're describing here how women, the genetically born kind, are forced into relationships with men who have augmented themselves to become trans. And so we have to ask ourselves, what was the point? Why did you go across? What was the point of transition if all you wanted was a QTGF after all? Rather than embracing the fact that Ana, as this person calls themselves now, is a little different than others and might have a different taste in life, Ana decided it would be best to become a woman and still pursue such masculine, carnal desires. Now, is it any wonder why someone with such a twisted worldview would have a problem with Kirsche? Ana even wrote and somehow got approved to put up an article on Daily Dot discussing how Ana carried a butt plug inside themselves while they played the game Fall Guys. That's right, the jelly bean game that your little nephew or niece plays. Yeah. And they described this experience as an erotic experience. Quote, having a blast. Make of that what you will. Valens has gone on to write yet another article smearing Kirsche and VTubers that support Kirsche as right-wing bigots. And Valens updated the article to clarify that they are now receiving death threats from people claiming to be Kirsche's fans. The alt-left often walk on eggshells around one another and avoid policing their own for fear of peer backlash. They fear their allies more than their opponents crashing down on anyone who steps out of line. And that brings us to the magic word incident. Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one either. It's that one that starts with an N and ends with an R.
Neighbor?
On May 3rd, Kirsche supported Shiloh Hendricks' fundraiser, which had raised $457,000 at the time of that donation. Kirsche explained that her donation revolved around calling out the hypocrisy of a two-tier justice system and how this was a way of dragging people's attention to unfair applications of social law and formal law. This isn't about the specifics of Hendricks' actions. It's about whether or not Kirsche has the right to speak her mind. Will we let cancel mobs dictate how we communicate our thoughts and ideas over the internet? Again? Have we not had enough of this already? Kirsche built her platform on authenticity, from a small PNG tuber stream on Twitch to a voice for thousands across multiple platforms. Her big moment wasn't a single viral clip, but a steady climb through dedication and defiance. And I don't know what to tell you. When you've got an individual like this going after you, you must be doing something right. After all, they only attack the people that seem to cut to the core of them, that seem to get the most rise out of them. So here we are with this character going every which way but loose, trying to get Kirsche's goat. Anyway, guys, you'll have to let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. And as always, good luck out there.